showing you how to remove the instrument cluster from a Volkswagen for an all keys lost scenario. This is the most common dashboard layout and how to take it apart. It's just this piece right here you're going to need to pull forward. Now, first tip is you're going to want to pull out the steering wheel as far as it'll go and as down as it'll go. And then some of them you might need a flathead screwdriver to start prying it apart. However, this particular one, you just kind of get a hold of and start popping it out. And this just is attached by leather, and you can just pull that down to the side. There's going to be 2 torque screws at the bottom there, and that's about it. So we'll just go ahead and loosen these guys up with the Torx wrench. Sometimes this gets in the way when you're trying to twist the screw, so it might not be the best idea to always use one if it has this end here. Could potentially scrape this a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 out and come back. Their size T20 is the wrench for that. Another tip is that when they get pretty loose, try to get your hand in there and take it off with your finger and your thumb so you don't drop them down there. Usually if you do drop them down there, you can usually tap at the bottom and hopefully they bounce out. Hopefully. Once you got it open, you can just slide this right out. Turn it to the left there towards the driver door, and we'll see the clip on the back. You need to push in this tab as you pull up on the purple tab. I'll admit it's always not super easy to do with just your fingers, so sometimes if you get a flathead to push that button down and lift up on the latch. I got the little latch free now, so you just pull it up, slide that out the back, and that's it. Now we have our instrument cluster ready to take to the bench to finish programming. Alright, I'm going to show you how to remove the dashboard out of this Volkswagen and do all keys lost procedure. This is the harder of the options here. You actually have to, the trim piece goes all the way around both of the vents, so all of this comes out in one piece. The first step, you're going to want to pull out and down the steering wheel to give you as much room as possible. And then you're going to want to get a flathead and get behind here, pop that out a little bit. You want to, same thing on the other side here. You just want to get past these tabs here that will block you. Alright, so once you got that down, this piece you can kind of grab the inside of it, like not the glass, but the inside of the plastic behind it. Start popping it out. And you want to go out this side. If this is a little more stuck around the edge, sometimes usually in the top, you might want to get a flathead, push down. But when you do that, be careful. This black piece and this chrome piece, they come off separate. So make sure you're going past that to the plastic behind it and not just popping off this outer piece of trim. But once you have it out so you can grab it, start pulling that out, wiggling it free, start coming back over this way. See how you can get your fingers behind there now? Just start pulling it outward. This corner is usually a little tough, so you can pop it out. Sometimes it's best if you start this far corner here get a flathead. Once again, you kind of get in there. Oh, you can see how the plastic came up there. That'll pop back down, but try not to really break it. But if you can get past it, and you can lift out that corner a little bit to get this started, and then reach up in here again, and there it goes. This pops off. So now we got to keep this whole piece kind of intact and just lay it down over the front here. Now we'll be able to see underneath. There's one screw, there's another one. They are a Torx T20 wrench. So it can be a little difficult to get in there with all different size wrenches. So if you try to check which size wrench works best for you. But I'm going to go ahead and take these 2 screws out right now. Alright, now I got the screws out of here. I would recommend that you loosen them most of the way and then kind of get your hand in there and twist it off to pull them out so you don't drop them down there. If they do fall down, usually you could tap. Oh, this one's kind of wide open. With some of them you can tap to knock it free. But once you got that, just kind of grab it. It should come right out. Usually tilting it towards the driver's side is usually the best option. Get around to the back. This is the clip you're going to need to remove here. It's got this tab that you need to push in so you can lift the lever up. Not always easy to do with one hand. Sometimes it's easy to get a flathead under there while you push down and see, just to get this lever free from the locking tab. So I'm going to do that real quick here. Alright, I got the locking tab free and the lever. So if you lift it all the way up, I'll pull it halfway out, and then you just pull that out. And you can kind of wiggle the instrument cluster out the front here. And we're ready to go finish programming on the bench. Once you have the instrument cluster outside of the vehicle, you're going to need to remove this back piece. There's just going to be 4 screws right here that you'll need to remove. They are a size T8 Torx wrench. I'm going to go ahead and take those out now. Alright, once you got the screws removed, there's going to be a tab on each side right here that you want to get a flathead under. And then you can kind of lift up one corner, and then on the other side, get a flathead under here. Let's see how I lifted that one up, and I go back and lift it up again. And then we'll be able to get this piece free. And then the only thing in your way is really the sticker right here. If you're not concerned about breaking the seal, just go ahead and cut through it. If you are a little concerned about it, then a lot of times you can pull it off with, and oh, look at that, it actually slides right off without tearing the sticker. Not every time, but if you're lucky. Once you got it apart, you're going to want to clip on this end of your SmartBox VW cluster wire. You want to start with this tab forward here, slide it in, and then lock it down. Alright, now I got it all hooked up. I got the SmartBox powered on with the 12 volt power supply there. I just want to show you that if you put your new key in the transponder ring here and flip the switch to the on position, should say no key or key not in range on the cluster. That obviously means the key's not programmed. We'll check that later to make sure that it does not say that after we're done programming. First step is just to hook up the cable. Here, let me get this flipped back over for us. Alright. First step is going to be to back up the system data. Alright, start with the switch off. It is off. We'll take our grounding probe here and we'll place it on the correct spot for this instrument cluster based off the wiring diagram. And then we'll flip the switch to the on position. About 6 seconds later, you should see that little orange light light up and a click from the dash. Then you can let go of the cable. Complete. Then we're going to use pre-code key. Alright, we're going to do that again. We're going to turn it off. And then we're going to use our grounding probe here. put it on the correct spot again. And then we'll turn our switch to the on position. About 6 seconds later, that light turns on and it clicks. You remove the pin. What it's telling you about tips to verify it's in the in service mode is that the instrument cluster panel should only have the brake light, as well as the battery and the water temperature, but the main display should be black. Alright, we'll go ahead and put our new key into the chip reader on the SmartBox there to be pre-coded. Alright, that's done. Now we're going to use program all keys. Alright, we'll switch this back off. Use our grounding probe one more time. Switch on. Orange light turns on and it clicks. Let go. Just going to do one. This was a turnkey ignition. Alright, so it wants us to turn it off. And then take the head of our key and put it in the transponder ring here. And then we'll turn the power switch to the on position. And then we will check the front of the cluster. There it goes, 1 out of 1. It means it accepted that key. If it says 0 out of 1, it means it does not like your key. Or you need to reposition it in the coil, one or the other. Alright, programming is successful. So now we can double check it. Before we reinstall it, we'll turn it off. We'll leave our key in the coil. Let's flip the cluster over so we can read it here. Okay, and then we got the key in the coil. Turn the switch to the on position. And it no longer says no key or key not in range on the dash. So this key is programmed successfully, and you can go ahead and reinstall the instrument cluster into the vehicle.